Guys, what's going on? It's Dave, Mr. White LS1. Thank you for joining me tonight in the carburetorstuck.com garage. I appreciate it. So I did some video right before the run. I talked a little bit about putting the gas tank skid plate up on there and stuff, so I'll probably piece that in right here. Hey guys, what's going down? It's Dave, Mr. White LS1. Thanks for joining me today on the side of the house. So, such a beautiful day. I decided just to pull the truck around and do some work over here. So, got the sliders done. Let's see here, get a light. Show you a little bit more. I kind of was running out of steam the other night, so I didn't really need too much of a look. Maybe you can see them better from if I get back a little bit, but they're pretty nice. They make it easy to get in the truck. I can kind of use them as a step. But yeah, so I got my belt squeal taken care of. It just turned out to be, I just needed to adjust, adjust it. It was just rubbing the pulley wrong. So yeah, I got my exposed gas tank there. As you recall, I don't know, back this summer, built this skid plate for the tank. So, and before I had the lift, the 4-inch lift, I think the diff hit it, but now that I added the lift, I don't know, I'm gonna run it and see how it does. I think it touched it and then it bent those dealios. What we got there? You see that little guy right there? That little widow hanging out there. Anyway, so I'm gonna get this sucker back on. I gotta go find the rest of the bolts. But yeah, so it'll protect my tank. But one thing I do have to do is, you'll notice here, it was rubbing the tank. So I went up to Lowe's, got some of this action here. So I'm going to put that on the bottom of the tank, and then when I put this up, it'll have a little bit of cushion. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm going to work on tonight. Nothing too serious, but I figured I'd bring you along with me. Why not? All right, here's what I ended up doing with the gas tank, just to keep that from rubbing. I don't know exactly, what. I think it was rubbing like right here. So I'm sure this will be enough to just keep it off. So yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be okay. I was gonna run them this way, and then I was like, well, I don't know. I wanted to have them come up the side just in case if it hits something. All right, guys, I got my skid plate in place. You can see the foam coming up through there. It's not as tight as this side is, but I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can get in there. But it is smashing the foam down. See, it's kind of back there a little bit. I know it looks really close, and it is close, but it is smashing down that foam back there. So at least it'll keep. You can see that one piece coming up out of there. So I put 4 strips across the tank. So it's in there. It's keeping that from. So if it does move a little bit, it won't rub the tank. So I think there's enough foam around it and underneath, and I'm not sure how close it is, all the way underneath, but I think it's probably enough to keep it from moving around or anything, so I'm good with that. Still proud of this sucker too. It came out really nice. And so you can see where a rock, you can see there, where a rock had hit it in the past on one of my trips, and so it did its job. I ordered another wheel from Summit. So here it is, and it's just, you can see there, not good. It's just the same wheels as I got on here, and I transferred my handy dandy BFG Baja TA spare tire that I've had forever. But this is an awesome tire because they're just, if you guys know anything about these Baja TAs, they're expensive. I ended up getting it. There was a tire shop across the street from where I used to work, and they always had old tires in the back, and so I picked this up for around like 30 bucks or something, and I just use it as a spare, and it works awesome. I think I actually used it for a little while on the truck before I got good tires, but it and I don't even know if they're radial. I think they're like a bias ply, but they're really good and kind of puncture proof. They got a really strong sidewall, and you can see there's like big chunks out of it and stuff. But the other spare I had wasn't very good, And at least the trail I'm going on tomorrow, I know if I got to put this on, it'll get me out of the trail and back home. So yeah, I dig it. Other than that, I do want to give a shout out to Diego. Diego comes out, he's like, hey man, are you Mr. White LS1? I was like, yeah, I am. And so he's like, dude, you know, I watch your stuff. And so he told me he used to have a Blazer, and I think he said a 75 K5, and so now he has a C10 that he might be LS swapping in the future. So I appreciated him, and that's kind of like the first time somebody's come up to me and been like, hey, are you that guy? But it was pretty awesome. So I just kind of wanted to do like a post run, just kind of look over and just show you, you know, how the sliders did and how the tank skid plate did, and just talk a little bit about the truck and how I thought that it did. So as you know, I swapped these axles out of the K20. They're 411s. I used to have 373. So with the 35s and the 411 gears, with what I was doing the other day, as you guys may have saw the video, it worked awesome. So I was really happy with it. The gear, it's slow enough to where I can stay in control and I don't die as much. Now the stuff that I was wheeling on, it wasn't, you know, a lot of like loose rocks to where, you know, sometimes you'll hang up a front wheel and a rear wheel, and then sometimes it may not be, you may not be geared as low enough as you would want to like kind of stay as controlled. So I think, you know, if I could go to like a 456 gearing, that would probably be a little bit more ideal. But for what I'm doing now, the 410s just, they held up great. And if you guys watched that video, which you probably did, it did great. So I'll show you the sliders a little bit, and you can kind of see what's up with them. So all up here, oh, let me get you in the picture. All up here looks pretty good. You can see, you know, you can see a nice scrape right there. You can see yeah, some good action right there. So these suckers, they took some pretty hard hits, and they held up well. So you can see like the whole, all the way back. I mean, they took a little bit of abuse, and then you can see this crossbar back here. You can see it rubbed pretty good, and yeah, so definitely worked. Let me show you the other side. So this one here, yeah, you can see it took a pretty good hit on the side. It's a couple little actions there. You can see here, took a pretty good shot there. This is where it took, I think, most of the shot. It felt pretty hard when I was coming up one obstacle, and if I hadn't had these, there'd be a big dent in the body. Definitely. There's you can see more scratches. You can see back here just where it took even more action there. See that on there. So they was it worth it? Hell yeah. Like I said, it took about four days or so to complete them, and that's with going like, you know, spending like 4 hours a day on them and stuff. And but it definitely was worth it. I didn't cap the ends, and then obviously, you know, it rained on the way home, so I got a little bit of rust going on in there. So I'll probably, I don't know, when I get some extra time, probably cap them up. But they worked so good, you know what I'm saying, that I don't know, I was just so impressed. One of my buddies, Dave, he was watching as I was going up an obstacle, and he's like, man, your rock slider hits super hard. And he's like, they held up good. So I don't think they ever really touched the body. I didn't really hear them bashing against the body or nothing. They just held up and did their jobs. So let me get on the creeper and I'll roll up under here and we'll check out this gas tank skid plate. You can see if it did its job. Had I not had the skid plate on here, something may have got the tank. Here's the other side. Oh, this one might be a little bit older. Could be new though. It looks pretty new. Also, one other thing I did do is I caught this action. I kind of slid into a rock formation, and it kind of straightened me all the way down. Got a little close, and then it kind of got me pretty good right here. But you know, no big deal. That's what the truck's for. And even comparing it to wheeling in the K5. Obviously the gearing's a little bit, I mean, with the 373 versus the 411s, which, you know, you think isn't really much, but
it's still, it makes a difference. And I gotta say, with the length of this over the K5, just, I mean, it's like night and day wheeling. Like I'm gonna keep this truck long. I never think about shortening it. Even the trimmage that I did back here to the bed, I mean, it was like perfect. I mean, I never really hit on anything. Now, obviously, if I come off a ledge, you know, sooner or later I'm gonna hit something. But yeah, I didn't have any problems. Nothing really hung me up. I still got to do the front locker or weld it or whatever I'm gonna do. But yeah, so it's I gotta say, I was pretty happy. Now, somebody commented, and before they commented, I was kind of thinking the same thing. When I took it out a couple times before, I did notice a lot of a lot of frame flex. And so I think that these stiffened it up a little bit, because I didn't see near the amount of frame flex that I had before. So I think these actually did stiffen things up, and I'm happy with that. I do have a hard hitch in the back and a hard hitch in the front, so that kind of keeps things maybe a little bit better, but I think these definitely helped out. And yeah, so yeah, I couldn't be happier. So anyways, she did good. She kept up with the Jeeps. I didn't bypass anything. I mean, I didn't, some of the stuff out there where I was at, you could take a lot harder lines, but for the most part I didn't bypass anything. And I just was able to, I think I stalled one time, and it was just in a dumb area. I actually stalled like right when I first turned into the gas station to meet everybody. I killed it, but and then I stalled one more time on the trail, and typically I stall a lot. But that's it. Did good. Didn't have to use the old spare tire. I was happy about that, and that's all I got to say. But anyways, I appreciate you guys rolling with me. You guys take care. Thank you for all the likes and the subscribing. And if you guys like the videos, please share them. I would appreciate it. And like I said, we got plenty more truck stuff to do. I still got to finish the K20. Still got more stuff to do to the K10. We still got a lot more wheeling to do. And hopefully, I got a court date. So hopefully next week I'll be able to adopt the little man. And then after that, it's just me and him. We're going to be adventuring all over the place in this thing. So it'd be the adventures of Dave and the little man. So that is it. You guys take care. I will talk to you soon.